Looking for a quick and easy way to resize a bunch of photos and windows? Let me show you my favorite way. Click on your Start menu and then search for Microsoft Store. Click on it. Search for Power Toys and click on the first link. Click on Install. If you see this little shield at the bottom of your screen, just click on it and then click on Yes. Now, if you're wondering what Power Toys are, it's actually a collection of tools from Microsoft. Yep, that's right. Microsoft actually created this application, but they're not shipping it with Windows for, I don't know, non-apparent reasons. But as you can see, you have quite a lot of useful tools here. For example, if you want to have a Windows stick always on top, you can use that. If you want to use a color picker, yep, that's available here too. But today we're going to use a special tool called Image Resizer, and we're actually not going to use it throughout this interface, so let me just show you how to use that. Okay, so as you can see here, I have a couple of pictures which I want to resize, and what I can do is just select all of them by just dragging my selection and right-clicking on one of them. And as you can see, I will have my new option called Resize Pictures in my context menu. And this was not available before. This is provided all by Power Apps. So what I can do now is just click on Resize Pictures. And what this will do is open up this Power Toys interface where I can choose some options. You have some options for different image sizes available here if you just click on Custom, or by default, I believe it'll stay with large. As you can see, this is Full HD, so if you just want to use this size, you can just go ahead and click on Resize. Now, if you want to dig deeper into the options, you can use either small, medium, or phone, but what we can also choose is choose this custom option. So if you have a very specific requirement for the image size, you can just type in the width of the picture in pixels and the height of the picture in pixels. Two additional options. One of them is resize type, which I'll just show you in a second, and the other one is the unit of these measures. So at the moment these are pixels, as you can see here, but I can change that to percent. Instead of specifying the actual physical sizes, I can just specify, let's say 50, and this will make my images 50% smaller. And what I can also choose inches or centimeters depending on your needs, but I just usually stick with pixels. I promised to show you how these resizing options work. This is my original picture. As you can see, it's two people walking, and it's kind of a portrait picture. And if I go to the next option, which is stretch, the stretch option does is it takes the measures you specify very seriously. So this is the actual size that I specified, and what the Power Toys image resize did is it just took the image and stretched it into these dimensions. So they fit perfectly into these dimensions, and it ignored the aspect ratio of the picture. Next up is fill. It takes the dimensions that you specify, it just crops whatever is underneath the dimensions I specify. So it's still preserves kind of the aspect ratio, but it just crops the image where it doesn't fit anymore. So this is kind of a nice option if you want to stick with exact measurements, but want to preserve kind of the image look and want to make the images still look great. Yeah. And the third option is fit, and this is in my opinion the best one, because it still obeys the dimensions that you specify, but it just shrinks the image to the dimensions that you specify. So the image will still preserve its original aspect ratio, but it will obey the size that you specify. Okay, moving forward. Now there are some other options that you want to use. So one of the most important, and I keep that ticked every time. So make pictures smaller but not larger. If you have a bunch of pictures and you just don't have the time to look at each specific one and check what the dimensions are, you can just check this option, and Power Toys will check the image dimensions before resizing them. So it'll make sure that the images will be smaller, so it won't enlarge the images, because if you enlarge the images they lose quality. So Power Toys won't do that. Now the other option is ignore the orientation of pictures, and this is very important. I usually keep that unticked. And the third option is resize the original pictures, don't create copies. This had cost me some original images in the past, so make sure to keep that unchecked. So if you check that, you'll just resize the original images, so you'll lose the originals. If you want to use this option, the best thing to do is just create the copies of these original images and store them in another location. For example, if I go here and I just go to resized and I click on copy and paste them here, And now inside this folder, it's perfectly safe to use this option, so resize the original pictures, but don't resize the originals. You'll just lose the images. Now the fourth option, which I usually just keep, is remove metadata that doesn't affect rendering. Metadata is additional information that's stored within pictures, like location where the image has been taken, the make and the type of the camera that the picture was taken with. All this data takes space inside the image. Removing that data might save you some additional space on your hard drive. So yeah, I usually just keep that as it is. And now I can go ahead and click on resize finally. And it'll take a couple of seconds. And as you can see, then I will receive my copies. And this is actually how to resize images. Now, let me show you one more thing that will speed up your process even further. So I can sort them by size, let's say. So I can see now that my originals are here on the top and my copies, my smaller images, are here at the bottom, and that's perfectly fine. I can just go ahead and move them here. But what if that was not the case? What if the original photos were kind of a mixture of larger photos and a mixture and some smaller photos as well? What if you want to move the photos to another folder before resizing them? Well, to do that, I have another trick up in my sleeve. So to do that, what you can do is just select all of the photos that you want to resize, and you can drag them with your right mouse button. Now, that's a very unusual gesture to do. If you have a trackpad, then you can use two fingers and just press and move them to your folder where you want to store your resized images. And again, do it with the right mouse button or with two fingers on your trackpad. And now when I drop it here, this little context menu appears, and I can see another option called resize pictures here. So this is perfect. If I click that, and I let me just choose large, so it's full HD, and pay special attention that I don't leave this option open. I did that the previous time, and it actually resized my original pictures, although I used the right mouse button. So make sure to leave that option unchecked, and when you have that done, just click resize. And as you can see, the resized pictures just appeared here, and they're much smaller than my originals. So there you have it. That's how to very simply, very easily, and really resize the images on Windows. So if you have any additional questions, let me know about them in the comments. Otherwise, have a nice day, and I wish you all the best. Bye.